Hello, how are you doing today? Doing all right? Good. That's what I like to hear. And I'm doing all right. Thank you for asking. Yesterday we were going over a song, Love Turns to Lies, from the album Shamrock Diaries by Chris Rea. This album is from 1985. As I have mentioned earlier also, it is my effort to go over one song only once. But then I thought this song deserves a second reading. And this realization came when I listened to the song after having considered it. I've listened to this song quite a few times. It just so happened that yesterday when I was considering it, I spontaneously arrived at certain meanings of the phrases, of the stanzas, and of the words. That is one way of understanding what this song is about, but then I realized that if I take the song in its entirety and look at it from one certain viewpoint, then I'm most certainly closer to the meaning of that song. Closer to the meaning of the song, Love Turns to Lies. And what is that one thing to keep in mind? I will preface everything by saying that there's a line in this song which gives meaning to the whole song. So that one point of reference helps everyone to understand what Chris is saying all the way through. That line is, "What's that you say? You were going to leave me anyway." So, keeping this line, or this set of two lines in mind, let's begin reading this song and keep in mind that Chris, the writer of the song, is already aware of the developing treachery of the woman he's in love with. I'm going to read it, the first stanza and the second stanza, and then you will know why these lines are significant. So this is how it starts. "I could have stood to watch you walk away and put it down to your uncertain ways. Or maybe, baby, you've had a change of heart. Maybe want to make a brand new start. Crazy though what I say may seem, I could have learned to mend these broken dreams. You could have pushed, I would have gently fell. I could have played the graceful one so well. What's that you say? You were going to leave me anyway. Any fool can see what you've done to me. When your love turns to lies." The actor played the part of sweet desire and tiptoed out upon the highest wire. The truth to tell upon a rope too thin, and so the fall of treachery begins. But oh, to see the starlet's smiling face, so eagerly awaits to take the place. I tried to fall in a clean and graceful way. You could have said, I would have given way. In the listening of this song, this last line, I heard it could have said, or it might have said, you should have said, I would have given way. So when you take these two stanzas together, you get the understanding that Chris is in love with a woman. The woman apparently does not deserve the love of such a man. But there are feelings. Now, Chris, the writer of the song, is devoted to this woman. How far they are in the relationship, can be seen that there is a feeling of willingness to commit, but the commitment hasn't come yet. That's what one sees here. From the very beginning of the song, Chris is saying that he would have been willing to watch her walk away and excuse it by saying these are her uncertain ways. She's not sure. Or maybe she wanted to be in a different relationship because she had a change of heart and she wanted to make a brand new start. Which implies that Chris and this woman have been in a relationship for a while. However, this woman, while playing the part of being in love with Chris, is actually being pursued by another man. The actor played the part of sweet desire. This is not Chris. And tiptoed out upon the highest wire, the truth to tell upon a rope too thin. So the fall of treachery begins. This man is cautious. He knows that the woman he's pursuing is in love with another man, but he still desires her. And she has kept the opportunity open for him because she has indicated in some way that it's possible. He says, "Oh, to see the starlet's smiling face." The starlet is the other man. It's not the woman. It's not Chris. It's the other man. So eagerly awaits to take the place. Whose place? The place that Chris has at that time. And what did Chris say next in the end of the second stanza? I tried to fall in a clean and graceful way. You should have said I would have given way. He recognizes the freedom of this woman to make this choice. And he was willing to be a gentleman about the whole thing. He was willing to be graceful, even forgiving about the whole thing. But then he sees what he would have anticipated, he would have predicted. And I see him smile the way that I smiled. And I hear him laugh the way that I did. But I hear him screaming and I hear him cry and I see him falling when your love turns to lies. And what do we learn here? Chris was the first man. There was a second man. But then there is a third man in this song who is not spoken of in detail, but he's there. It's not Chris. It's not the second man. There is a third man. This is why Chris hears, but I hear him screaming and I hear him cry and I see him falling when your love turns to lies. So this woman has perhaps pretended or actually been in love with Chris, also been in love with the second man, and now past both of them, she's now in love with the third man. And what do you think would happen to the third man in relationship with such a woman? Predictably, what happened to Chris and the second man. The last stanza brings it out clearly. What's that you say? You were going to leave me anyway. Any fool can see what you've done to me when your love turns to lies. This is where you see the behavior of this woman. She's arrogant. She's a narcissist. She is self-centered. She feels entitled. to the love of the first man, Chris, of the second man, and of the third man. And despite having deceived two men and seen the effect, it doesn't bother her, and she gets into a third relationship. And then, if the song went on and on, you would see a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, and as many relationships as you would see. And at what point do you think there would be reason enough to have sympathy for such a woman? There won't be. There won't be, because you will look and see clearly the pattern of behavior of this woman. I don't know how graceful the second man was, but Chris, the first man, most certainly, by his words, by his sentiments. I still like the way he says, I could have played the graceful one so well. Maybe he wasn't really feeling like being graceful and generous in such a way, but he was willing to play the part because there was true love and recognition for the freedom of this woman. But this woman did not care about how good a man Chris was to her and as a man apart from her. And she did not care about the second man to have stayed with him. She went on to a third man. And by now, not having received any kind of punishment for her behavior, she has now become hardened in her ways. And maybe she will find a man. Maybe the third man isn't one who is going to be graceful. Maybe he won't be as forgiving and soft as the first man and the second man. Maybe he will teach her a lesson. And even if he doesn't, her reputation will precede her wherever she is known about the kind of woman she is. She is treacherous. And then she will find men who are truly fitting for her, because they all know this woman is not one who has a sense of loyalty, and she will walk into a relationship and out of the relationship. This is who she is, and that is the kind of men she will find. And then she will realize someday where it all started and how it could have been different. But then it would certainly be too late. Too late, because the men, like Chris, have already learned their lesson and moved on. And even the fools who have seen, the fools in society who had no attachment to this woman or to Chris, but they saw what happened. And now this woman can never run away from the reputation that she has built. Not because she was slandered, not because she was insulted, but her actions have established who she is and what she's worth. This is the lesson from the song, Love Turns to Lies. I want to thank you for your company, for your attention, for your time. Thank you. Take care and goodbye.